How much money are real estate agents really making? My name is Sean Slaughter, real estate agent and investor, and today I want to talk about how much money real estate agents really make. Now, your potential to make money as a real estate agent is similar to any business's potential to make money. If you are hardworking, if you're smart, if you know how to market yourself, you know how to put in systems and processes, really the amount of money you can make as a real estate agent has no limit. But I want to give you some numbers and just kind of an understanding of what you can actually make. Before we get started, let me give you a caveat. If you're solely in it for the money, you will not make money. Real estate agents that make a lot of money, not only do they treat people as being valuable, but they bring value to those people. The more value you bring to somebody, the more potential that you have to make money. Also, as a real estate agent, you do not get paid for your time, you get paid for your results. So many real estate agents do not want to spend the time that it takes to take a buyer around to show houses. The buyer calls them on a Sunday, they're just like, I don't know, or I'm watching my favorite game or my favorite show. But a real estate agent will leave the Super Bowl halftime show to go show a buyer a potential house. That's just the way it is. I first got my real estate license June 30th, 2020. I was teaching and I was making about $49,000 to $50,000 a year. I went back to school that August 20, whatever it was, that teachers have to report back a week early. Students typically arrive to the school after Labor Day or a day after Labor Day. I did my first transaction on September 11th. I did my final transaction for the year on November 30th. I had 5 transactions in 2020, okay? Now I want you to think about this. For a school year, I was getting paid about 50 grand. Those 5 transactions netted me $25,980. So in a span of September, October, November, in about let's just say 3.5 months, I made half of my school salary. It was at that time where I was like, yeah, it's time to get up out of here. But let's go ahead and get into the numbers. Typically, a real estate agent, whether you're a buying agent or listing agent, you're going to make a 3% commission. 3% of a $100,000 house is $3,000. That's how I think about it. So a $300,000 house, you make a $9,000 commission. But hold on there, partner. The one thing that we always have to consider are fees. We also have to consider the type of brokerage that you're with. Some brokerages will split that 60-40, 70-30, 80-20. I'm with a brokerage that is a 100% brokerage. That means that I get 100% of the commission if I bring in my own lead. If I take a lead from my brokerage, then I split that commission 50-50. So for a $300,000 house, if I get that lead from my brokerage, instead of getting a $9,000 commission, which is 100%, I will get $4,500. All right? Or if I'm with another brokerage that does an 80-20 split or a 70-30 split, where you're getting the higher end of that split, you take that $9,000 commission and you times it by 70% or 80% or whatever, and that's how much you're going to get paid. But hold on there. That is your brokerage, okay? Then there are fees. Sometimes there is a transaction fee. Some brokerages will charge a $400, $500, maybe $600 transaction fee. Many times the clients pay that fee. But if I'm working with repeat clients, I'll just swallow that fee. If I have a client that's allowing me to list their house and then help them to find a house, I'm not going to make them, pay my brokerage $500 per transaction. I'm going to go ahead and pay that fee. Additionally, your brokerage may have monthly fees. Now, because my brokerage is 100% brokerage, they have monthly fees. Other brokerages that do maybe like a 60-40 split may not have monthly fees, but you're getting a lot more taken out of your transaction. Agents are required to be part of a real estate association. And that real estate association generally has quarterly fees, which can be anywhere from $200 to $400 a quarter. Also, to get access to your MLS is also a fee. And usually that fee is paid quarterly. And it can range anywhere from $200 to maybe $300 per quarter. So after your monthly fees and your brokerage fees and your MLS fees and your real estate association fees, my brokerage has a transaction coordinator and they'll take a fee, a small percentage. Usually it amounts to about 30 to 50 bucks out of that transaction because their transaction coordinator is actually doing some work, uploading some documents, checking over my stuff. But I also have a transaction coordinator that I'm using that I pay a fee to per transaction. I haven't even started to talk about marketing. So if you're paying Zillow to do advertising, you're paying, $500 to $1,000 a month. I know people paying $4,000 or $5,000 a month for Zillow ads. If you're sending out postcards and farming your area, whatever marketing you're doing, if you're paying to get your videos edited, if you're paying for your graphics and for your photos, those fees will add up. Additionally, you have things like health insurance, your website, E&O insurance to protect yourself, errors and omissions, buying business cards, getting dental insurance. It just adds up. So, can you make a lot of money being a real estate agent? Absolutely. But you have to know how to run your business like a business. And you have to value people. If you're a person that's lazy, you have no ambition, you have no motivation, you can't get up every single day and look for homes for your buyers or make sure that you're setting the right price for your sellers and market their home effectively. If you're not the type of person that likes driving and being in several cities per day, putting maybe 40, 50, 60 miles on your car a day, if you don't like solving problems, if you don't like stress and anxiety because you feel like a deal is going to fall apart, this may not be for you. One last story. I originally told y'all that in 2020 I did 5 transactions. It actually should have been 7. One deal fell through and one took about 6 months to close. The one that took 6 months to close, that deal almost fell through 4 or 5 times. My buyer was ready to walk away because we were dealing with a seller who wasn't the worst seller, but their listing agent was the worst listing agent that I've ever met and met to this day. And that deal eventually got done, but I started with those folks in September, and that deal didn't get closed until February. That's another thing that you don't think about. Well, I go find somebody's house and I get a $9,000, $12,000 check. I remember in 2020, I had buyers that I got in September that I did not find a house until April. So I was working with those buyers September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April for 8 months before I even got paid because the housing market was so crazy and houses were going off the market so fast that it just took a while to find the right house for them. So are you patient? Do you have enough patience to work with your clients so that you can get that big paycheck? People say real estate agents don't do anything. No, that big paycheck comes because you get results, because you problem solve, because you understand the business, because you're going to guide your clients through every single step of that process and help give them peace of mind when there are bumps in the road. That paycheck is for your anxiety and your stress. That paycheck is when things are going wrong and you're sleeping up at night being like, how in the world am I going to get this deal solved? If you're not that type of person, that doesn't excite you. If you don't have that, not only are you going to fail in the real estate business, but you're not going to make any money because you looked at the money first versus solving problems for your clients and ultimately getting them in the perfect home or helping them sell the home for the right amount of money. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and karate chop that bell. This is the House of Motivation, the place where inspiration lives. Peace.